This is Dean Johnson. I'm interviewing Eggert Eggertson on January the 20th, 2014. Okay, and Eggertson was a longshoreman. Eggert was. Now, where on the waterfront did you work? Tell me all the areas you worked.
Oh, in New Westminster, and then we'd go to the rice mill, even down in Port Moody there, at the mill down there. That's where we all started. But I didn't go to West Shore until way later in life. And I went to the car docks on Annis's Island. That was where we went. Enjoyed them all, you know.
Okay. Well, how did you ever learn about longshoremen?
I was working at a service station. And the guy that used to come in there, I used to service his car for him all the time, and he was a longshoreman out of Vancouver. He says, well, why don't you try going longshoring? Instead of working in the garage, was quite a difference in pay if you look at it that way. And so I knew Bill Carlson. He had
Bill Carlson. Oh, yeah.
He had lots to do with Wally baseball. So that's the only guy that I knew, and I went and seen him, and he said, yeah, he says, go and try it. So I sat in the hall day after day trying to get a number, and then that's how eventually it started, you know.
And what year was that?
That was in 1963.
63.
It might have been 62, but my pensionable year was 63 because I think it was...
the first year you never get a pension, same with me.
Yeah.
So it's 62.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you get there.
Yes, that's a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. So do you remember your first job, or how you got it?
I remember my first job. It was on the afternoon shift. It was, I guess they couldn't get bodies. It was winging up Fletchers.
Now, what are Fletchers?
They were, 4x6 or 4x8s, whatever they were, or 6x8s, and we had to wing them up over our heads. And I was working with Leo Amaro. That's one guy I remember that was there. And I think it was Bill Chilkowski, I think was another guy that was with.
Bill Chilkowski.
Yeah, that's who I started with. It was on an afternoon shift.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was funny. Anyway.
Did you work just a one day in that week?
Just that one. I don't really recall, but probably because we did a lot of unemployment insurance in those days.
Yeah.
That's when you could walk up to the unemployment insurance building in New Westminster.
Yeah.
You just went and got your money every Thursday, I believe it was.
Right. I only went up there. I never did that. Did it once. And they sent me a note that I miscalculated and I owed them $5.
Oh, was that right?
Did anybody help you get your job or anything? Or how did you get there down to the hall?
Oh, I drove on my own. I drove my own. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And how did you find out that you had to sit and wait for?
Well, I guess when I went there, you eventually learn. You just played a lot of bridge and just sit around until...
100 Point, Rummy?
Yeah, and 100 Point. Not so much, pretty poor then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now, when you went to work, what type of cargoes did you handle when you were down there?
Majority was that flour, bags of flour.
And what docks were these?
That was at PCT. PCT. We're doing the box cars plus on the ships, you know. We had to unload them first out of the box cars. I think we had a quota at one time. I think there was 2,400 sacks.
2,400.
And we do that, you know, if you had the dock section. But we always wanted to go on the ships because we got more money on the ship than you did on the dock.
Yes, because they weren't into our union yet.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
More money. And the different docks specialize in different cargoes.
Yeah, well, there was the rice mill. That's where that was pure rice, and then those bags were 212 pounds or 220 pounds, something like that.
Up to 250 with the coffee.
Up to 250, yeah. And
how did you handle those?
Oh, you'd single out, but if it was on the floor. But as soon as it got to going getting up higher, there was usually two to a bag to do those big bags. But the flour, the 100-pound bags, 112-pound bags, you're always by yourself.
Yeah. And did you ever work in a dock at Fraser Surrey Docks in the warehouse?
Fraser Surrey, oh yeah.
Not Fraser Surrey. I'm sorry about the rice mills.
The rice, yeah, I worked there.
How did you like inside up the warehouse?
I didn't care for it. It was pretty heavy.
And they had to build tiers up
Well, that's
way
right,
up
way up. Oh yeah, yeah. And then you maybe even walked up with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't fun there. I'd sooner handle big Fletchers and timbers than rice mills.
How did you get out to the rice mills?
We drove out. Yeah, we always drove out.
Did the company have any buses or anything go there?
No. We not when I went to it. We'd maybe fill a car, like when we go to Vancouver. You get a job, we'd fill a car, and one guy in there would give you $1 for gas. You get $5 for the day.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, and what was overseas like? What were they?
It was mostly lumber and plywood. Pretty near a lot of plywood. Yeah, it was a nice place to work. It's clean place to work. Yeah.
And how big were the ships?
Oh, I really don't know for sure what the tonnages were. There was a lot of smaller. Those were fairly small ships compared to what they are now.
Like Liberty ships.
Yeah, Liberty ships. Yeah,
10,000 ton, 14,000 ton.
That nickel plate was over at PCT. That was a terrible job too.
Tell us about that nickel plate.
Oh, it was like grabbing bloody rocks that are with sharp edges. Your hands would come all cut and everything else, and they didn't supply you with gloves or nothing. You had to do it yourself. But that was a bad job, and you picked them always off the floor, right off the floor, bending over all day.
Did the companies ever supply any good gear at all in those days when you started?
Not that I recall.
No coveralls.
No coveralls. Not even gloves or nothing. No.
They didn't supply anything.
No.
Did you need any special training?
Not really. Just needed a strong back and a weak mind, I guess, is what they are.
Now, what type of gear did you have? When you first got there, what type of gear did they have?
You mean on the ships?
Okay, on the ships. Yeah.
It was standing gear, pretty well always standing gear.
Now, what was standing gear?
Well, you'd have to set the boom for the dock, and then you'd have to have the boom that would in the center and pick it up. I don't know how you'd explain it.
How heavy was the gear? I mean, how much could it pick up?
Oh, maybe 5 ton or something like that. It wasn't much more. Some of those Liberty ships, they were small.
Yeah, some of them were only 3 ton gear.
Some of them were 3.
The heavy one was 5 ton.
Yeah.
And
yes, it was funny. What they call a mid? That was a midship. Yeah.
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 The yard and the midship.
Yard and the midship. Yeah. It was always best to be on the midship because you didn't have that load going over you when you were working down below.
Yeah. Did you see any loads fall? Anything come off the loads?
Oh, there's always a few. I've seen a few fall. The scariest one was when we were in the tanks, and there was a load of, I think it was 2x2s. They just came flying down like toothpicks, and there's not much room to run there.
Tell me about the tanks.
Well, that was like the forward end of the ship, and there was very little room there. It was just a small hole, and I think it was kind of a bonus if you put stuff in there, I believe,
What were these tanks used for normally?
I don't know. We filled them up with wood when we were doing those Liberties. I know that, but they might have been used for ballast. I think they were.
Water in for ballast.
Yeah, I believe they were.
Yeah. And I think that was just a captain's extra.
It sure was. Yeah, it was just they made extra money on that. Yeah,
that's right.
A little fringe benefit for him, I guess.
Yes, and so how big was the opening of the tanks?
Oh, I would say maybe 20 feet, 20 by 20 at the very
for
most.
the tanks?
Yeah, at the very most.
There's a hatch that was
Yeah.
open, but then the little tanks that you in.
Oh, they may not have quite that big once it got down lower.
Yeah.
But
No, we had to
roughly
take a
around
lift.
that.
I always thought maybe it was 4 by 8.
Oh, was that right? When those
went
little
down.
ones, that once you got down, but the top was always a little
Yeah.
bit bigger.
And then the hatch, and then you had to swing it over
No,
and dump it, the load almost
They had
upside
it-
down.
That's right, to get it down.
To get it down. 'Cause it
That's
was
what
so
happened. That's
small.
why they all came sliding.
Yeah, loose.
They'd hit the side of the combing to get the right height,
Yeah.
the right angle to put it down.
They did stuff in those days you would never
Oh,
allow.
you wouldn't allow,
today.
that's right. No, that's for sure. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
for-
what about the safety in those days?
Everybody talked about it, but there was. I don't think anybody really asked you to be unsafe, but everybody kind of looked after themselves. There wasn't that much input about it, to be honest with you. Well, everybody hollered, especially the top side. They always said, "Stay out of the, don't be underneath the loads and stuff like that." But that was it. There wasn't too much done. And
When you were started up there, let's say 62, 63, and you went out on that job, what would be your duties? Pick a job a day. What would be a normal day?
well, the first thing you do would be set the gear. Like if you were on the lumber, or if you were on, maybe you're on the scow, or you could be the dock. I mean, the first thing you had to do was set your gear. And you'd work accordingly, which way it was coming from, and then you'd try to pick partners. There was always a few of us that always liked to work together, and then we go down in the hole, and it was all handball mostly then in those years. It was always everything by hand, not too much by machine.
And so you're doing handball. What do they call a butt? Hand mobbing. How would you stow
Well, you run them out for the length. If you're doing lumber,
like a 3 by 9? How would you stow that aboard ship?
3 by 9. Well, you go from one end to the other, and then you try to butt them out, and you try not to have any space at the ends. If there was a 3-4 foot length of space in the end, the foreman disliked that very much. He wanted them tight. So you get more lumber in. Get more lumber in.
Did you ever do rib stow?
Oh yeah, you mean up number one hatch?
Yeah, down the ribs.
Oh yeah, not that often. I don't recall that much doing putting it on end. Eh?
Yeah.
No, but I guess
That was another one of the captain's.
Probably would have been. Yeah, it probably would have been. Yeah. Yeah.
Anything over the normal.
That's right.
The captain would get it and get a little bit of money for it.
Right. Yeah, he had to make a little extra.
Now, what were the hours of work in those days?
Well, we always got most of the time was in the day shift.
Okay, now what time did you have to get up?
Dispatch was 7 o'clock normally, so you're always up around 6 o'clock.
And then you
go to the
drove to
hall. Go to the hall, got your job, because we were never called back. In those days, we could never be called back. We'd always have to go try to get a job in the mornings, and it was in the afternoon shift when they paid. Well, it was time and a half then when I started. The members grabbed all that, so us on the lower boards didn't get that opportunity very often. So if you didn't get a job in the daytime, you weren't going to get one at night,
And PCT dock, describe that dock to me, all that you remember.
Oh, I don't know. It had everything on it. It had fertilizer,
How many berths?
flour. I think there was 4 or 5 on PCT. One A, B, C, D. There was at least 4.
A1, A2, B, C, D.
Yeah. And it was always either lumber. Well, it could be anything down there. Lumber, flour.
Did you do much fertilizer?
And a lot of fertilizer. It was.
How did you like fertilizer?
It was. It would burn you after a while. But everybody had an apron on usually, especially for the lumber. You always carried on the on the wrists. That stuff burned you like crazy. Yeah.
And an apron. That was the
Apron for the lumber.
Yeah, that was about the only thing we had for protection.
That's right. That's all we had. Yeah, I think so. You're right. You're right there.
That's all we had. Yeah.
And then everybody, you could tell how much the guy had worked because everybody had a hole in it or something. You know, he wore right through the leather.
And what did the dock look like? PCT.
Well, it was the biggest one that I ever went to at the beginning. You know, it was the longest, and then they got what was it? Coal, not coal. The heck was it that they had there in those box cars?
Lead.
Lead, yeah, lead, and then
Zinc and
zinc. That's right.
Zinc.
That was I don't know. It was kind of different. That you used that huff for moving that stuff around, and it had different.
You know those people that worked the huff inside that shed, the lead shed.
Yeah,
they didn't make it to retirement.
It bothered their health. Yeah, because you're in a kind of enclosed.
Yeah, you're enclosed, and plus the diesel fumes and the lead and everything.
Everybody was worried about that at West Shore because everybody talks about the coal, but there's never been a problem there with that. No. You know. And
I remember everybody was today. They're all worried about asbestos. Man alive! We used to have so-called fights with asbestos, and nobody I know ever got any problems.
I know. That's right.
So I honestly think that asbestos thing is just a big hype.
It could well be. I don't know anybody that got sick from the asbestos either, but everybody talks about it. It's supposed to be bad for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, after the standing gear on a ship, what was the next?
Well, I guess you had swinging sticks. They had the
what were they like?
Oh, they were hard. They were. I think they were the hardest thing to maneuver. You always got a swing in them and stuff. Cranes were easier than the swinging sticks, as far And in the cranes, you always had a house. It was much better. Swinging stick, you were standing out in the middle of the deck half the time.
Pouring
rain. That's right. Making yourself a house and stuff. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Myself, I didn't do too much topside. I was not one of those guys. I didn't like it, so I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you went to work, did you work in a group or by yourself? What happened when you?
There was the 13-man gang, so we were always.
And what did that consist of?
There was always 4 and 4. It'd be 4 on one side, 4 on the other, and then the 2 topside guys and 2 slingmen. What is that?
And then the hatch tender.
And the hatch tender. See, that's where your 13
And what did the hatch tender do?
He signaled all the, when to pick up, and because the drivers, the 2-inch driver, they couldn't see. They can't see down below, so he has to give them the signal when to pick up and how far to come down, and also when to pick it up and then bring it over, So he couldn't leave. He had to watch.
What was these winch drivers? What was their? What were the winches like?
Some of them they were steam winches when I first started. They were most of them were all steam winches, and noisy as heck. Yeah.
Would you say the job on the docks was noisy?
On the top side it was. I would say it was quite noisy. Yeah, but down below was okay, or either that or you got immune to it, one of the two. I didn't have any trouble with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, we'll go to another dock, B&K dock. You remember that?
Yeah, overseas?
What was that like?
It was not the one that was. It was condemned first, wasn't it? It wasn't the best. Yeah. It was a scary one, I think. It wasn't even the material that you drove on wasn't even good.
Yeah, as I remember, you went there was mostly scow work.
Yeah.
They tie a ship up there.
That's right. It was mostly. That's right. It was mostly scow work because I think they condemned that dock for that reason.
And then farther towards the Petula Bridge was overseas.
Overseas, yeah. And they had, 3 docks there? Three docks.
And what did they mostly go?
Theirs was mostly plywood.
Plywood?
And lumber off the scows.
And how did they load the plywood? Where did it come in? Just
It came off the shed. No, it came in bundles, and that was when
How big were
they
the bundles?
used machines then for. I guess the bundles were. Well, if it was 4x8 sheets, they'd probably be about 5 feet high, I guess, or 4 feet high, something like that in that area. But that was all done by machines. They were strapped together, and we didn't handle it loose.
Mm-hmm.
And if we got a plywood job, that was a good job because they were done by machine, and we could kind of take it easy.
Yeah, I remember one job down there. Kenny Smith was a forklift driver. And he always came down with 3 at a time, which was okay.
Yeah.
Troopers come along and let's make a 4th bundle on it. So they put 4. And Kenny Smith went up there and knocked the 4th one right off, picked up the 3, put it away, and we would spend 15 minutes
cleaning those up. Oh, yeah.
And he'd pick it up and put it away, and he brought another one with 4. Knock it off,
Same
pick
thing.
up the 3.
No kidding. Bust them.
Yeah, and we spent 15 minutes, and then there was no third time.
No,
They
just
came
not.
back.
That's right. I mean, those little machines could only take one at a time anyway.
Yeah.
Down below.
And at the 4, that was almost as high as he could
Oh,
reach.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
it was just really unsafe and everything. But
Oh,
they
yeah,
just-
it's been unsafe, no doubt.
Yeah.
I can see Kenny doing that, all right. He's probably the only one, though.
Were you the, was there any women working
Not
there?
when I was there. Never any, no, not a one. Not when I was, not when I worked out of the hall. No, I've never seen one. Mm-hmm. And like now, I guess I shouldn't say this, I guess, but there was only 2 East Indians there, or 2.
Yeah.
No.
What was it like, mate? Jack Singh? And,
And Jimmy Meehan.
yeah.
Yeah, but they were great guys.
Great guys.
Oh, yeah, there was
I
nothing wrong with them.
didn't, was there any, I mean, I didn't
No
know.
dissension, no nothing.
No dissension, no nothing.
No, they were very good.
He was in my crew at West Shore for a while.
Jack
And
Singh,
Jack Singh was.
Oh, yeah. He was a lot of fun to work
Oh,
with.
yeah. But if you worked for West Shore, you worked for Jack Singh.
Yeah, Jack was his own man.
He was.
Yeah, he was his own
The
man.
funniest thing was, we're sitting in there playing cards in the lunchroom, and he's doing the relief.
Yeah.
And the guy up on Stacker 41 Radio Jack, he says, "Look, I'm good for that. Don't bother me."
Uh-huh.
So he only had to do the dumper.
Right.
And Bobby Allen, I think it was Bobby Allen before he went foreman. We came in there,
Right.
and Jack said, "Can you do me a favor?" He says, "Could you go get the dumper for me? I'll get 41." Bobby Allen says, "Okay, sure." He got off and he's still playing cards.
He didn't have to go to 41. Yeah, right. That's Jack. Yeah. When he was doing, I remember when I was at Fraser, Surrey, when I was a foreman there, and he gave Jack as a checker. All he ever used was that bloody package of cigarettes.
Yeah.
His player cigarettes. So, yeah, he was a funny guy, Jack.
Yeah. Now, what different jobs did you do down there?
At Fraser, Surrey?
On the
As a foreman or
as a worker and as a foreman.
we did them all. Whatever there was, we did everything. We even loaded. Remember, we used to bag grain at Fraser.
Right.
Remember that? Oh, guys went crazy there.
Yeah, bagging the grain there.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
we
when
did
the old
that.
elevator was there.
Yeah, that's right. We'd have to bag it. Had to bag the grain was all loose, and we had to fill the bags. Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, they'd put the grain in the hatch, fill it up to a certain space, and then bag it because what they told us was they didn't want it rolling in a sea. They had to have it stabilized.
Oh yeah, right. So we'll go right. I can understand that.
Yeah,
More guys them wrestling around in there than enough. Yeah. Oh, but I did it. Like did everything, even the steel. Well, steel plate, steel pipe, a lot of pipe. Fraser Surrey had so much pipe. Mm-hmm. It was all over the dock.
what did you think about the pay?
I liked it. I enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed longshoring and foreman right through all my life. I have no regrets of being a longshoreman or being doing the jobs that I did.
And what do you think of the benefits?
They're great. Longshoring has been great for me. I know that it's helped me a lot, especially with the trouble that my wife had. It's looked after her very well, and it hasn't. The medical system has been great for me. Yeah, I can't complain.
Mm-hmm.
No complaints whatsoever.
Now, once you started longshoring, who taught you how to do the job?
Oh, you just learned on your own, you know. Yeah, I'll tell you a funny one here. I was working with the Bodruks, and they wanted a shackle, and I didn't know what a shackle was. But so I had to ask, and so I guess they told me. So I brought it to them, and I says, "Well, this is not a shackle. This is a clevis. Because on the prairies we have a clevis. It's just like a U-boat with a pin through it. Well, that's what we had on the prairies, you know." And I said, "Well, this is not a shackle. This is a clevis." Well, that stuck the rest of my life, and they still call me clevis to this day. And that was one way I found that out.
I remember with me, it was either maybe third or fourth job I had down there.
Yeah.
And the jobs are few and far between.
Right, there for sure.
One windstroke, one guy came up to the hatch tender, and he says, "Look at the winches are, there's no power. They're losing power.
Yeah.
Boy, hey, get a bucket of steam now. You go up to that number one hatch there and ask for a bucket of steam." They gave me an old bucket that you use for marking off.
Yeah.
You go up there, of course. I'm 17. I'm ready to. I go up there and look, and they sent me all over the ship looking for a steam bucket.
Yeah, it's, a lot of fun, a lot of different things have been done.
Yeah.
Some guys were bad,
Yeah.
Leo Ammer always had something to do, something going on.
Yeah. What he sent me doing was taking his family to the P&E one day when I was first there. It was on I got a good job, and it was on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And it was time and a half, and we went down there, and we're between decks, hand stow. And he says, "You got a driver's license, kid?" "Yeah." And show me it. I showed him a driver's license. He says, "Okay, here are my keys. I got a Nash Rambler station wagon." And he gave me $20. He says, "Now, here's the address. You go pick up my family, take them to the P&E, but you got to be back here before 4.
Oh.
So I went and I got back.
Yeah.
But I still got paid for the day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Leo, he's quite the guy. Yeah.
No, Leo, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, you remember that.
It wasn't my first day, but probably my third or fourth day. down there.
Yeah, one of your
'Cause
first.
You get one day, and then you may go a month and not get another one.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Or, so it's,
Yeah, that's where I learned to play bridge. Play bridge day after day after day. Didn't cost nothing, so.
So did you have to have any those sack hooks or anything?
I had a sack hook,
You had
but they didn't like you using them on the sack. They put holes in them, and stuff. The ones with the 3 little prongs were, I guess, probably better than the ones with the one big hook,
Yeah.
But we did use them,
What type of other hand equipment did you use on the jobs?
What?
Hand equipment, like did you was there PVs?
Oh, yeah.
And how did you use those? What were those? How?
Those were using for timbers or Fletchers, if they were long and big,
Well, something. Explain what a PV is and how you work it, because people will not know.
Oh, how do you explain that? Yeah, it's like it's long. It's got a point. It's got a long handle on it.
It's about 5 feet.
About 5 feet with a sharp point on it, and then it's got a hook that goes up and down.
And the hook and the point's all made out of metal.
That's right, all metal, and then you can poke it in, and then you can turn your timber or whatever you want to do.
And you can drag it. Two guys got on it.
The other guys can push, and
Yeah.
it's the big ones. We used to put them on rollers. The big timbers. You put them on a roller. Small roller would be a guy working the roller, and then the other guys who could push those timbers as far as you wanted them.
You ever work with the assassinators?
Assassinators.
That's those rollers we roll in with the packages, packages of lumber, then grit behind and pull it out, and they would shoot out the back.
No, I don't think I ever used those.
Oh.
To be honest with you.
We called them assassinators.
Oh, is that right, eh?
Yeah, that's when package lumber just first
On the
came in.
package lumber?
Before lift trucks.
And how long were they?
They were as wide as the
Wide as the
package.
package, yeah.
And they had a little key in them, sort of, and you put the key in them, and so the top roller, it was 3 rollers.
Uh-huh.
The top roller wouldn't move, and the bottom 2 would, and you would aim it and you'd push this package in.
Okay.
Because it would be in the middle of the package, you see.
Right, yeah.
Then once you did that, you went up beside it and you unlock the top roller, and then it would, because of the weight, it would and you had a little rope to it, and you give a little pull from the back, and it would shoot out at you, and you'd just jump out of the way.
Oh, was that? No, I never seen that one.
And they were called assassinators because
okay.
you hit you know, because they were heavy.
Yeah.
They were
No, I never seen those.
They were well over 100 pounds.
Oh.
Dangerous.
Now, what special training did you ever get, or did you ever get any special training on the docks?
Never. We'd ever had any training. Well, I drove cat for a while, and who was my trainer? I think it was Nelson himself, Harold Nelson.
Oh yeah.
And I learned on the sawdust pile. And then you have, once you learned it, then you had to make if that job came up, you had to fill it.
Yeah.
Because you had that training.
How did you learn to drive a cat?
On the sawdust pile with Nelson. Mm-hmm. There's either chips or sawdust, one of the two.
Mm-hmm. And how did you like that job?
Yeah, well, I liked it all right, except sometimes it was tough getting up to the top. It was so slippery, those bloody, especially the chips. You'd slide all over, you had to be careful. But I enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm glad I did it, Mm-hmm. But then as soon as I think you had to service it for 2 years. And or was it a year? It might have been only a year. And then after that, I think I quit.
Oh, yeah. Did you work in any other places in the Lower Mainland? Longshore or what?
No, just out of New Westminster. Yeah.
Did you work in Vancouver at all?
Oh, we'd go in there, we'd like they'd send a gang from New Westminster into Vancouver when they were short, and I went in there then. Or sometimes we'd go and apply, just go in and put your name in at the hall in Vancouver. And
what was the difference between Vancouver and New Westminster to work?
I think, to be honest with you, I think New Westminster, the people in New Westminster were way more personable than Vancouver was. Yeah, actually, I didn't like Vancouver people. They seemed to think they knew everything, or they were better than you. That was my impression, but I might be the only guy that thinks that. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well, Vancouver came in handy when work was slack.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean.
Came in handy.
Yeah. And that's when we also, lots of times, we'd fill up the car. One guy would take his car, and everybody would give him $1 and go down there.
Yeah, everybody give him $1.
Yeah.
Or they had buses then.
Oh, later on, I guess they did.
Yeah.
When they were asking for people. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, big bunch of buses. Yeah.
Yeah, God.
Now, what was the worst job you ever had?
Either hides or nickel plate.
Well, what was hide?
Hides.
You explained nickel plate. What was hides like?
Hides was, it's the hide off an animal, off cows or steers or whatever they were, and they had salt on them. But then when you were doing them in July, it didn't think it made much difference. They were runny and smelly, and they were terrible. Oh, I don't think you ever got it out of your system. Your hands would stink for so long. Yeah, it was not a good job.
Got any stories about the hides?
Not too many, other than just working them.
One story I had, we worked hides all day, and the company called cab to take us back.
Oh, yeah.
And the cab come, and all 5 of us ran into this cab, because we knew if he smelled it, he would just take off. And we all jumped in, and he drove all the way to New Westwood, head out the window.
I guess so.
Oh, that must have been.
I remember when.
But I don't know what it cost to clean that cab up after that.
Yeah. There's another. I don't know. I better not tell you his name, but with something similar like that happened at the car dock when I was working with Andy and Glenn Ford. There was the three of us. They used to call us the Three Stooges. And we had a guy that was driving the bunny bus. You know, he'd drive the guys. They'd drive their car off the ship and they'd park it in the lot, and then he'd drive them back to pick up more cars. Well, anyway, this one time, this guy here, he stunk so bad that the guys wouldn't get in. I asked him, I said, why are you not going to, why aren't you getting into the van? He says, oh, he says, can't do it. He says, he smells too bad. I'm not going to tell you his name.
I have a sneaking suspicion who it was.
And anyways, so I told Andy, he says, Andy says, get him a cab. He says, send him home, tell him to go have a shower and come back. So he did that. We got him a cab, sent him home. He came back, still dressed in the same clothes. You remember him, eh?
Yeah. I remember him.
Oh, that was a laughing joke for a long time.
He could have all the showers you want, but he would never change clothes, and his clothes would
No, that's right. No.
Need somebody looking after him.
Yeah, he should have.
Yeah, he never was married, poor guy.
Now, do you remember? Did they have a railroad at PCT?
A what?
A steam engine? Do you remember that?
No.
PCT at one time.
For moving the cars around?
Moving all the cars. They had the smallest complete railroad in the world.
Oh, okay.
They even had its own turntable.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the old
I
steam
never
engine
thought of
and all
it that
that.
way, yeah.
Yeah, and
But I don't know if I remember seeing it work. But it must have.
yeah, I remember
Yeah.
going out there,
And
working away.
I'm not too familiar with that, to be honest with you.
Well, how did you guys and your co-workers let off steam after work or before? or
Oh, I
what?
guess we'd go to the bar sometime. Put
What
it
bars
that way.
did you go to?
Where little Freddie Summers was. What was the name of that little bar? I didn't go over to that other one that
Dunny?
I very seldom went there. I'd be in the Windsor the odd time.
Windsor, the best.
The
The
one
King
on
Ed.
the one on what's the name of it? Freddie? No, Freddie.
No, it's up on Columbia.
On Columbia, that's right.
In the corner. It was. It's still. I don't know if it's
Is it
still,
still there or
there.
not? That's where we used to go. Me and Jerry Steffen and Ronnie Noulette, and we always worked together. It was us working together, and it was close to the dock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're glad you didn't go to that Dunsmore. That's right.
No, that
Yeah.
was that
Oh,
was
I
it.
was there.
But I did go there the odd time. But it wasn't my place to go.
I thought when I go in that place, I tell you, I thought I was in heaven.
Yeah.
I was home. I could-
Yeah, it was home to you. Yeah,
was
right.
home.
Yeah.
The Dunny, the Pacific Cafe of Sloppy
Oh,
Joe's,
yeah,
and the Windsor.
Yeah, your triangle.
Right triangle.
Yeah, Sloppy Joe's, yeah.
Now, how long did it take you to get into the union?
8 years, 9 months, I think it was. 8 years, 9 months, yeah.
And what year was that?
72, I believe it was, when I think I got in the
Oh,
union.
yeah.
24072 was my number. I'll never forget it. Yeah. So that's just about 9 years. So that's
years.
what it was. Yeah.
And what did you think of the union?
Oh, I was glad to get in. Definitely glad to get in. And there was great people in those days. I think they were very, very good people. Those guys that were at the head of the union and stuff. And even the old topside guys, you had a lot of respect for those guys. They knew what they were doing, you know. I mean, I'm not saying they don't know now, but to me, they were very good people.
How did the union affect your working conditions? Or did they affect them at all?
I always was a pretty good worker.
Yeah, but the union, how did the union itself affect the working conditions? Did it make it better, or did they keep them?
Probably made it better. Oh, yeah, there's no
Worse?
doubt. You didn't have to take the really bad, the jobs that you disliked. You could kind of stay away from those. But they were pretty starting. When I made membership finally, there was not that many bad jobs around anymore, you know.
Did you ever go on strike?
Yeah, oh yeah, we went on strike. I don't forget what years it was, but I remember a couple of times being out.
69?
Probably that must have been one because. But that's quite an experience, you know. You wonder. Oh, I can remember guys coming in. We were on the dock, and they just, when they said that's it, we were pulling the pin. I remember McKinley just grabbed his book and he just fired it up the store, up the stairs. That was it. And then everybody just went running. I don't know. Nobody seemed to care.
And what were the issues when you were on strike?
Well, I guess money was one, if I remember correctly. And is that when they wanted to open it up 24 hours? I'm not sure, you know.
69 was when they wanted to open it up. They wanted to have the 3 shifts.
Yeah.
First of all, they went from 5 to 11 in the afternoon, time and a half.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic shift.
Yeah.
Because you could sleep in, don't get
That's
there
right.
before. And at 11 o'clock, it's still not till you finish. And it's
still time to do something.
Well, what was a good time was by 11 o'clock, you got off, quarter. All the women in the bar were half juiced up. The guy that spent the money, and you come there sober.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for us young guys that were, 20.
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for a better shift. It was a time and a half shift.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We were a single guys.
Is that when they stopped there? Is that when they went to
They started that, and then halfway through the next contract.
That's when they went out and got it off. Yeah.
In your experience looking back, do you think the employer was fair?
I guess he was. Not always, I don't think, but what should I say? I never had any trouble with any of the companies, put it that way, and everybody treated you half decently. I mean, I think if you did your job, if you did your work, you didn't have a problem with them, That's what I think, But I never had any gripes with any company or any dislikes with any of the foremen.
Did you? Now that you're retired and you meet people like most of the people I met were longshoremen.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But people who worked on the outside, and you talk to them about their jobs and their management. How is our job and management compared to them?
Well, I think ours is way above theirs on most of them. The mill workers and all those people. Our job pays better. It's better benefits. It's superior to those jobs as far as I'm concerned. And construction, same thing.
Was there any respect for the worker on the docks?
Oh, I think there was. Oh, yeah, for sure. Because people wanted to get in there. How do we get in there? How do we get in there? I said, well, for me, it took me 8 years and 9 months. But as far as I'm concerned, it was worth it, But we had lean years, there's no doubt,
What I liked when I worked in the dock, the foremen, the superintendents, they treated me with respect.
Yeah.
I wasn't somebody looked down on.
I never had any of them holler at you, did you?
No,
I know.
And if they asked, it was, hey, Mr. Johnson, or Dean, if you got to know me. If not, it was, could you do this or this or the other thing? And I had respect. I mean, and that meant a lot to me in my working life to go to work and know that, hey.
That's why I said I never had no qualms about working for anybody. Nobody give you a bad time,
Yeah.
You gotta have respect if you want your
Oh,
employees
yeah. Well, you got to be treated respectfully or you're not going to get much out of you, That's
right.
what I found in life.
Did you ever get hurt on the job?
I got hurt when I was a foreman at West Shore. A rotator cuff. I pulled my shoulder out. And I was off for 6 months. I think that's about the only time I got hurt.
Were you ever around when someone else got hurt?
I was there when, what was that? guy got killed.
Wilson?
I was at the hall when he was there, but I remember when that happened, and when Ivor went down. Yeah, I remember.
You were there?
I wasn't there, but
No, I
it was
wasn't
in the
there.
hall. I was in the hall, but I was on the dock when what was that little guy that got hit? He was coming over the tracks, and the other guy was on his car. Greenizing.
Yeah.
I was on the dock when that happened.
got it right here.
Yeah. I was on the dock when that happened. That was terrible. He was coming back from lunch.
Yeah.
Lunch, all right,
How do you think the safety is now on the docks?
Oh, I think it's very good. Everything is geared to safety. Safety first that's what they recommend anyways, and that's what you try to do. If you see somebody that's not doing it properly, I always used to say, hold it, let's not go crazy here. Let's look after ourselves first,
Well, I know myself that on the docks now, even then, the equipment is so big that you don't really get hurt. It's either it misses you or you're killed, one or the other.
Yeah, that's true enough.
Either it just, because it's so big, you get big containers and
And it's getting
huge.
bigger and bigger. I see. I haven't been out to West Shore lately, but I see now they got a couple of great big reclaimers there.
Oh yeah, and it's all automatic.
Automatic.
You can
That's
sit there
that's what they say.
But
I've
you know
never
something?
I got to go there and see it.
You know how big the gangs are now? I am 18-man gangs. You know
Huh?
what they got to do?
Eight?
Those 18-man gangs. They thought they'd get them down to 9-man gangs.
Yeah.
They can't. They had to build them up to 18 because they need
Oh,
It was
you're talking about a whole shift.
18 men in a shift in a gang. In a crew. 18
Where
men.
at Way?
Yeah.
Oh, that includes the maintenance. And
No. This is operators.
Oh, I see. That's for the day. That's for the day.
This is for the shift.
18 guys.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe what you have to do. From what I've been told, is the machines, they're all in automatic. But
Yeah.
there's nobody there to tell them that rollers are not working or this, which an operator does.
Yeah.
So a machine breaks down. So an operator's got to go up there and run it himself. So they do that. And it happens so often with these machines because that they have to have operators there to do it.
Yeah.
So they got to hire these operators and put them on cleanup until they need them on the machine.
No kidding.
This is the story I heard.
I don't know. Kerry is down there steady now, but he says there's not. Like you remember how we used to, dispatch the guys.
Yeah.
He says there's only 10 guys on there or something. That's what he was telling me.
Oh, that's just what I just heard that.
I don't think
Just
that's
last
right.
month.
Is that right? I don't think that's. I'll ask him.
Yeah, it's gonna.
But he's still on holiday. He's still hasn't worked since last year. I'll ask him. Yeah, I'll find that out for
find
you.
out, Jack.
Geez,
that's what I heard.
that's a shocker
Yeah,
to me.
they've had to hire more men.
More men.
And more maintenance.
Yeah. Because lots of times he's like you were saying. He's the guy when the stackers go on automatic.
Yeah.
He's in that room.
Yeah, the rubber room.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
He's up there just making sure, listening to the radios about what he's doing, I guess.
Well, you've got to have him there. You've got to have somebody to replace him.
That's right.
So that's 2 guys.
Yeah.
That's got to be there. And that's out of the pick, I understand.
Oh, is that right, eh?
That's,
I'll have to find this out.
And, and maybe there's a cleanup crew that's not in the gang,
Yeah.
but it's a cleanup crew.
Yeah.
And they got...
That's news to me. I didn't think it was that many.
No, neither did I. I was quite surprised.
Oh,
when
I guess so, yeah. Remember how we used to try to keep, some guys were doing 2 jobs and then sometimes you had to shut one down because you didn't have the manning.
Yeah, well, they still haven't got the manning. They're still... You could work 24 hours a day there. Mm-hmm. That's what I understand.
Yeah.
They still haven't. Now, in all your time on the waterfront, was there any violence on the job or because of the job?
Not really. I seen one fight. Or it wasn't even a fight. The guy was in his lift truck and the guy drove him in a lift truck, but he was under the... I guess he was had it inebriated or something, and he was acting crazy, and the guy had enough. And that's the only time I ever seen any violence on the job. Never seen it. I heard about a few others, but it's the only one I ever seen.
What type of work was considered skilled work and unskilled work?
Well, I guess all the topside was always skilled work, and even the checkers, I guess, and all the drivers was skilled work. And I think the guys down in the hole were probably classified as the workers, the unskilled guys, I guess, you know.
Well, I would classify, in my day,
Yeah.
when I was down in Hanstow, the side runner was skilled.
Yeah, that's right. That's another guy. He was. 'Cause
He was-
he
but
was
he-
in charge of each
side.
Each side. That's right.
And I mean,
He had to know what was going on.
and
how
I
to
know
do
that
it.
when I was down there, this is in the early '60s when I started.
Yeah.
If some young guy didn't do his, or some guy didn't do his work, it was
Yeah.
hit the hall kid right
That's
now.
right.
He had, and the foreman and the hatch center, they backed him up all the way.
Yeah.
If the
Yeah.
side runner fired the guy was fired.
I got turned in for working too hard.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you. I'm not going to give you his name either. Hey, went straight to the hall. We were hanging hook on him all the time.
Yeah.
He didn't like it.
Did working on the waterfront in any way contribute to your masculinity, your sense of masculinity or your identity?
I don't think so. I was always kind of never very strong anyways, but I was strong enough for that anyways. You know, not really. I don't think, you know. But it made a difference, you know. I guess, you know, you felt like a man. You felt like a person that was doing something, and you know, it made you feel good, you know, to be able to do those jobs. You know, really.
Yeah. Were you proud of your work you did?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, same with
And
me.
I took interest in what I was doing, and I wanted to make it good. Like even when we were trimming hatches, I wanted to get them right up to the top and always do the best. You know.
Yeah, I always tried that when I was.
That's
doing it,
right.
trying,
You know,
but you know, you don't looking down. Really,
It's-
you can't
tell.
You know, there's no.
You don't. That's right.
It's
all black. I mean, it's
Yeah.
so hard to get to. Yeah.
I would think I'd done a good job and I've got it just right, and here I'm 3 feet below.
Yeah. Oh no, it's yeah. But I took pride in that work. The guys that I had working for me, I enjoyed their work.
Did you do any socializing with the other longshoremen?
Oh yeah, most of my friends are longshoremen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you join? Was there sports groups or hunting groups or anything?
Not really. I don't think. No, we never really. When Dennis was around, remember I used to go the odd time, which you guys still
Yeah.
do. You go to the night and day. Eh?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I still might go there. I mean, I still, you know, eventually show up once in a while, but I don't make a habit of it, to be honest with you. But it was what we got a few guys when we were playing slow pitch. So it was we got like Kenny Canning and some of those guys. We got put a team together, and we had fun.
Yeah. Kenny Canning got killed. That was a shock.
That was terrible. That was a shocker too. Yeah. That was probably my best friend. Yeah.
And he was a good foreman.
He was good. He was good.
Good foreman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was understanding and stuff.
In all my working life, there was only 2 foremen I ever found it hard to work for. And all the foremen I ever worked for.
Yeah.
And all the time.
Who were they? Or don't you want to say?
Oh no, I won't say.
Yeah.
One guy, he never smelled. I forget his name now, but he died in a hopper, a salt hopper in North Vancouver.
Oh yes, I know who you're talking
Chatinsky?
about.
No, I don't know what it is.
I know. Yeah. I know who you mean. Yeah, he wasn't well liked by anybody. I don't think that. Yeah. I know who you mean now. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it hard to work for him.
Yeah.
And but all the others, you know, except for one other guy, but all of them were good guys,
Were
and I
pretty good guys.
enjoyed
That's
working
right.
with them and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And
Yeah.
And,
most of them in those days, most of those guys came from the Longshore Hall.
Yeah.
You know, they had already longshored. Not like
Yeah.
now, they picking them off the street, which I don't think is right half the time. I don't
No,
know.
it's not even right for them because they don't know what to do.
No,
don't
they
know
haven't
the
got a
job,
clue.
They haven't got a clue.
No, they haven't.
And I mean, I can't imagine me going into a job I don't know anything about and me
No.
being a manager.
And telling them what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And the guys know that I know nothing.
Yeah, and that's right. I can't see that, you know. And I don't know what it's gotten. I think West Shore is probably the worst instigator of the whole works. I think the other companies pretty well hire all longshoremen, don't they? Like Empire.
Yeah, I would
Canadian.
think so. I'm, you know,
But
there's
West
two-
Shore's not doing that much.
I don't. I like. Yeah, I don't know who the. Yeah, you see in the breaker all the time. It's people that are from outside.
Sorry, that's what I say. I don't. Yeah. Like I was looking at the breaker last time, and I've been gone since 2000. That's 14 years. I can't believe I've been gone 14 years, and I don't know a soul down there anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's you know, none of those guys that I know, and like you say, they're not people from the hall. They're people from someplace else.
Yeah.
In the mines or someplace.
How did the working longshore affect your family?
Well, it made us better. There's no doubt that it made us. I guess when I had just the one boy, I guess, when I first started longshoring. But before that, I was working at the service station there. And it made a big difference once I started working more steady. Oh, yeah, it made a heck of a difference compared to what I used to do. And I worked construction, digging ditches, you name it, before I went there.
It made a big difference on your lifestyle.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
And when you went foreman, what changed in your lifestyle then?
Well,
If you look back on it, was that a good decision, a bad decision, or what?
I think it was a good decision. Yeah, it was a good. My first job was at the car dock. I got with Andy in there, but I think I only worked 26 shifts in a year. But you still got your monthly payment. You knew what you were getting, you know. So you had lots of time off and lots of time to go fishing.
So
But it
how did that
improved.
work now?
It
You
was
were
good.
guaranteed.
I was guaranteed so much a month, yeah, and it was always it was enough to survive on. You know, you weren't going to get rich, but you knew what you were getting, and you had always had lots.
Was that on that guarantee? Was it more than you would make being a regular longshoreman?
At the time, it probably was. Probably at the time it was, you know, but it was no heck. You know, put it that way. It wasn't that much, but it improved.
What made you decide to come to West Shore?
I just looked at their structure. You know, you knew what day you were working from one year to the next. You knew exactly what days you'd be working, and even the pay was better. And it just made for a more stable lifestyle as far as I was concerned. So I went, Scott, I guess it was, that I applied the job to.
Yeah, Greg Scott.
Yeah, Greg Scott, that's right.
Yeah, you know,
I enjoyed it. I don't regret any of it, you know.
what did you think of the upper management of West Shore?
I didn't always agree with those guys. No, they were, I don't know, especially towards the end there, they were getting bad, you know. And actually, I don't think they didn't stick up for the foreman. They were scared of you guys who didn't like us. I think that's how it was. No, they didn't want to rock the boat with you guys. I know that.
No,
Which was fine with me. Yeah.
So, I'm just reading here. The company still. Do you have any photographs?
I don't think I ever took a photograph down there. I'll be honest with you.
Of all
Some
the
people
beach?
used to take photographs all over. I just wasn't one of those guys to do that, you know. No, I don't take any. Although I had, who was it who took that when those shiploaders 3 and 4 went down.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've got a whole.
You got
whole-
all
I got
those,
all
yeah.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, I did have some
Yeah,
of
I got
those.
a CD with all those.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
That was quite a.
I was on the
site.
site safety committee,
Yeah.
and I know that they wanted me to sign away it. They wouldn't let us talk to the foreman. I mean, if you.
Oh, is that right?
No. And they wanted, we wanted to talk to the foreman on the shift.
Yeah, to find out.
To
Yeah,
find
the
out
guy
what
should have
happened.
known.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a timeline and everything
Yeah.
else.
Who was on the Donnie Carey? Was he?
No. He used to be a first aid man at West Shore, then he went foreman.
Oh, I should know.
Yeah, but anyways.
Anyway, yeah.
And so they wanted me to sign on it, and I just says, no, I can't sign it. So I don't know what happened.
No, yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
and it's just too bad, but they didn't, nothing came of it, but I wouldn't, I told them that, hey, this signature's on here forever, that I agreed with what, and we hadn't finished it.
Okay.
It was unfinished.
Unfinished. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was something else where that bloody ship came through.
Yeah.
How the heck did that ever happen? The pilot couldn't have been on board, or couldn't have been watching very closely there. But they they never get blamed for anything.
$1,000, that's the most they pay.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Eh?
Everything else is,
Yeah.
the ship is on the captain.
Yeah.
The captain's probably on a garbage scow someplace.
Oh, that's right. Exactly. He has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. He's got nothing to do with it, but he should all
But all responsibility. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell me about any characters on the beach? Like, let's say Curly Smith.
Yeah, Curly Smith. Yeah, he always used to give the kids. What was it? You remember?
Oh.
He'd give them a quarter or something every time a guy'd come into the hall, maybe pick up a check or something. He always give you a quarter. Another guy was Rolly Racine.
Yeah, well, he was seen.
I think he lived on that Russian ship for about a week. Yeah, they were the two, but they were quite the character, those two guys.
Yeah, it was. And F Troop.
Yeah, F Troop, that was there. I could see them there. Yeah.
I mean, F Troops, nobody would know what we're talking about, but
Yeah.
except longshoreman and
That's
West.
right, that's right. And I guess the younger guys don't know who they are, though. They don't have a clue.
They don't have a clue who F Troop
Baxter
was.
and McIntyre.
Yeah.
And Scott, what was his last name?
Yeah, and Gooseneck and
Yeah, Gooseneck, Freddie Gooseneck, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was a good old day. No, I don't regret a day alongshore. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Do you know anybody in your career that quit longshoring? That did work and that quit?
Yeah, the Red Peshinuk, you remember Red Peshinuk?
Yes.
He went flying, or he was doing volunteer flights out of I forget where, but he got killed.
Yeah. He was doing it to keep his hours up.
Yeah.
For flying.
Flying,
hours.
yeah.
Yeah. He was doing volunteer.
And that's one guy.
But actually went and
Lester, remember
Yeah,
Lester?
Jerry Lester.
Jerry Lester. His son.
Lester.
Was his first name Jerry too?
I don't know.
But I know Jerry.
Yeah.
That was his son. Anyway,
Yeah,
he quit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Braxton and Lester, he quit, but it was his wife that said he quit.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He got orders.
He got orders because he got orders. He went home enough.
I know another
come
guy,
home
but
too
I
drunk,
can't
so-
think of his name. And we were on deck, and he froze his fingers and his hands, and because he didn't want to work. I don't know, but I forget what his name was. That's another guy that quit.
Well, I only know of all those years, I think 4 people
Yeah.
that that worked. Guys would come and work a day and two and quit, but I mean that worked a year or two,
and then left. There was very,
left.
very
I only know
few.
about 4. They all went up north to make their living, and they all didn't make a good living.
Yeah.
No.
Beverly was he went.
Gordon Simonton went.
Gordy Symington went. That's who. What didn't his partner? What was his?
There was another foreman too that went up there.
Yeah.
He was a foreman, and he went.
That's who I'm trying to think about.
And Purchie.
Purchie, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lloyd
Lloyd
Purchie.
Purchie, yeah, he went up there. And none of them, when they left, I don't
And
know any of
O'Donnell.
them. Yeah.
Obie O'Donnell.
Yeah, but they didn't do good.
No.
No,
No.
we
Oh,
didn't.
no, they didn't. That's right. No.
They didn't.
Yeah, but
They left and they...
didn't do any better, I'll tell you that.
What did they do up there?
Obie was driving taxi for a while, I know that.
Yeah. And Lester worked in a mill.
Yeah.
And same with Purchie, worked in a mill. And I was talking to the younger Purchie, and he went up there, he says, they visited, and he said, they both live in hand to mouth.
Is that right? Yeah. And then he passes away.
Yeah.
Poor Lenny, I don't know.
Well, he was with Merv,
Yeah.
and he went to the can with, was visiting, we went in, and he went to the bathroom, he came out and said, Merv, he said, I'm pissing blood. Merv says, you better get to the doctor right away and go right now.
Yeah.
And it was too late.
No kidding.
They said, you got cancer and it's nothing we really can do.
Was that like prostate or something?
I don't know what type it was,
Yeah.
but they told him, you've only got so many.
Yeah, because he wasn't very old.
Yeah. One guy Bobby Hansen was one guy who lucked out with cancer.
Yeah.
He had a
I think-
2%.
Yeah. He's still hanging in there.
Yeah.
And I
he
think,
was
think he's, there's no sign of it right
no
now.
sign
is
of
there?
it. And plus he's got his own bone marrow all stored away.
All
If
stored
it happens,
away.
they can take his own stuff and.
I got
What do
you.
you-
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah, he was pretty sick.
because he went and see the doctor, and the doctor called him in. We had the test and called him in, and he says, "Look, the doctor says no need to go to the hospital and stuff." And he said to the doctor, "Well, he said, I'll go and I'll be 2 weeks from now, and I'll make a date, an appointment." The doctor says, "No, you go right
now,
now, because 2 weeks you'll be dead."
Yeah,
He says,
right.
"Go, make your will out, everything, and you'll be at the hospital at 5:00
Yeah.
this afternoon, and we'll take you in and have you get all your business you need to be done and do it." That's a shock from
That's
feeling
for
you
sure.
got a bit of a flu.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Jimmy O'Donnell had got cancer,
Yeah,
too.
but he looks good.
He looks good now.
Yeah,
he does
looking
look good.
You know, Bobby's wife was doing all the cooking for him.
Oh,
Wasn't it Bobby?
What?
When he had cancer in the hospital.
Oh.
She stayed in there and
Yeah,
she
for
cooked
Bobby.
for him and
Yeah.
everything.
She looked
You know,
after him
one
very
thing
well.
he couldn't have. One thing he couldn't have was pepper.
oh.
Something in pepper. I don't know what it is.
Gunther Crumpine, he's another one. I call him the miracle.
Who's
man.
that?
Gunther Crumpine, the electrician we had.
Yeah, him. Yeah, he's
a miracle man.
He is a miracle man. He looks good now, too.
He does. He had cancer.
Yeah.
They gave him up. He was in a hospice in Vancouver. His girlfriend at the time, she stayed there with him, made sure looked after him, everything, and stayed there at night and everything. And I went there, and it's the first time in my life I ever saw a head on a pillow and no body.
Yeah.
He probably weighed 70 pounds.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, I'm going to pray to the Lord that the Lord heal him and bring him out of this. So I prayed, and Gunther was right out of it.
Yeah.
And I left, and I would have bet my house that he'd never get out of that bed.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in Willowbrook Mall, waiting for the wife,
Yeah.
and up walks Gunther, looking better than he ever did. 6 months later,
I know.
I couldn't believe my
He
eyes.
looks good now.
He married the girl,
Yeah.
and they're living a good life. And I
He's
was,
someplace here, South Surrey, someplace.
just out
Or,
here.
or South Langley, I should
South
say.
Langley, and him and I were up at Tasha's fishing this spring. This
Oh, is that
fall,
right,
yeah.
eh?
And we're out there fishing, and
Well,
we'll
what
go.
did they say? What would they do?
He
He
just
just
got
got
over
better.
it. He just got better on his own.
He
I
just
think,
got better.
Apparently.
Miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quite the guy.
I don't know. This faith healing, it wasn't my faith because I believed he would.
Right. You didn't think he was coming out.
I didn't think he was coming out of there. He didn't even know I was praying for him.
Well, I
Nothing,
remember
but,
he was a good friend of Denny Thomas.
Yes.
And Denny said,
Gunther.
Gunther, you'll
Yeah.
never see him again.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he's around now.
He's around now.
Dennis's brother just passed away, too.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. Glenn.
Awful.
Glenn, yeah.
Yeah.
He was 70, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else was on the beach? Any characters? There's Curly Smith. Who else was on a character? You would consider a character on the beach that's gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I even forget their names.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. too many guys that stood out. Really.
When it comes to fights, the only fights I remember was Little Liberty and Stonehouse.
Yeah, that was at West Shore. Yeah, I was.
No, that was at West Shore, and plus it was at Overseas Terminal.
Oh, was there at Overseas? Okay, yeah, that
Before
was
West Shore was
really
even
bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember. I know that they. Any characters, you know?
Oh yeah, lots of characters around there.
I guess there always was a few, but
I had the fastest drunk in my life at 50.
I guess maybe Billy Wilson and those
Yeah.
guys, they were always up to something. Kenny
up.
Smith, same
Yeah.
thing. They were always up to something.
Yeah, taking that booze over the
Oh,
PCT.
yeah, that was unbelievable. Yeah, they were quite the guys.
Lots of drinking down there, wasn't
There was, but we all worked.
Yeah, there was.
Everybody was in pretty good shape, and everybody worked pretty good, you know. So.
You know what I remember is this was in the '60s, and I mean it was a wild time in the '60s, I guess. It would be let's say a Wednesday morning or something like that, and nobody's got any money, and a lot of times the foreman would. Hey, chip in, get a bottle.
Yeah,
Go get
oh,
it.
yeah.
And we come down the hatch, and pretty soon by 10 o'clock, everybody's working, everything's going.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Nobody was,
Lots of
drunk, but
times.
a lot of times,
I don't know if they do it nowadays, you know, but remember always at Christmas, they'd always buy for the guys
Yeah.
down below. I don't know if they do that anymore.
No, right.
They got away from
Got
it.
away
Yeah.
We got, in my opinion, this is my opinion, we were longshore, there's 350 members. You
Yeah,
knew everybody.
yeah.
Now there's 850.
I know, you don't
and you
even
don't know anybody.
know half of them.
And
Yeah. It's harder to deal with.
It's haven't got the same
No.
family type of thing.
That's
you
right.
know what I mean?
No, that's right. Yeah, there was, and half the time it wasn't even that many, eh?
Yeah.
There was only 300 there for a while.
Yeah, only 300.
It must be over 1,000 there now, is there?
Oh, you count members or just everybody?
Well, just members.
Members maybe maybe 850 or 900.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
859? Okay.
And
Yeah.
it was.
But everybody's working. It's so busy down there. It's unbelievable, which is a good thing. I'm glad to see it.
I'm glad to hear, but it is so busy. Everybody's working. West
right.
Shore, all the people you can get,
Yeah.
and I mean, all the jobs that we could have had fall into.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it wasn't that we planned it all and schemed it.
No.
Just sort of fell into it.
Right. There's nothing at the rice mill anymore, is there? They don't.
No, that's Fraser Wharves now.
Oh, that's part of Fraser Wharves.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there is cars. They
They
use
got
cars down
in
there.
there. Yeah, Fraser Wharves. They go there, and that's where that is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How things change.
Yeah, things change, and the gear changes.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought you'd have?
I know.
Continue.
Well, those big. I used to enjoy when the Ro-Ro ships came on.
Yeah.
Like the pad line.
Yeah, pad line. I wondered how they ever got to back and forth from Australia
I
because the
know.
crew was drunk all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. They must have put it on automatic and went to Australia and then got a pilot, took him in the dock, then got a pilot, take him off, put it on automatic.
I'll never forget. Because I was a foreman, I could run up and down those on the car up there, and I had to go get a load of booze. I've stuffed that. Remember that 4-door Chevy that they used to have there?
Yeah.
Stuffed it right full. Trunk, front seat, back seat. There was only room for the driver, and that was me. So down I come, and he was sitting at the far end of the gangplank, the RCMP. I head for that fire shed as fast as I could go. Got away with it. Oh, that was unbelievable. I don't know how many dozen I had in there. They were stuffed up to the roof. Yeah, you couldn't get another box in there.
Sorry, I guess, eh?
No.
Yeah, but you risk.
No, that was a good old
Oh,
days.
good old days.
Yeah, you better shut that thing off, I think.
Oh no, they edited that. There's nothing there anyways. That happened years ago.
That's right. Yeah.
It happened years ago.
The olden days.
In the olden days,
Yeah,
we had quite a few.
Yeah.